Bay Area. I have a question for you. Do you remember what you were doing on the when you were 5 years old, one day and 1 month?
I don't remember that day specifically, but I do remember living in Redwood City and going to kindergarten there in California when my dad was at the 49ers.
And the day I'm referring to is Super Bowl 19. Were you at that game?
I believe I was. I know I was little. I know I was versus the Miami Dolphins at Stanford Stadium. And, I look at my dad's Super Bowl ring a bunch, and it's pretty incredible.
Can you kind of talk to the influence he had, and especially the influence of, the Bill Walsh tree and just how much you followed what Bill Walsh kind of brought to the NFL such a long time ago?
Oh, a ton. How, we coach the quarterback here at Denver is all based off of, Bill's principles and the things that my father learned and passed on to me, and then some other guys that I've worked with. I think that's where it all starts from, is how you talk to the quarterback, how you talk about the footwork, how do you time everything up in the precision pass game and the vertical pass game. And so he's had a very, very large effect on me. And, heck, we still run a lot of the plays that Bill Walsh ran back in those days. So, they're still very good football plays. And, even having a time when I was at Stanford to be able to work with Bill for a limited time, it was awesome just talking with him and him showing me those plays again after my dad had already showed them to me. And, I think there's so much about how you train a quarterback, teach a quarterback. It's a beautiful way when it comes to the West Coast offense.
Is that amazing to you, Nathaniel? When you think about how the game has evolved, that those principles still apply and are more relevant than ever?
Oh, no doubt. My dad always makes jokes to me about, look, that concept still works. It worked 40 years ago or 30 years ago, whenever that was. And I go, well, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. And but yeah, it is amazing that the evolution of the game. Now, the true West Coast world has kind of disappeared, but the way you train it, a lot of the plays, a lot of those things are still the foundation of those, are backbone of a lot of offenses still.
Hey, Coach, can you talk about what you see in Jimmy Garoppolo in this 49ers offense and his return, and just how closely you followed his saga this offseason?
I obviously heard about it a little bit. I didn't, know the total extent of it, but I do know that there was a bit of a saga going on, having so much experience going against him, so much respect for him and his game. He has an amazing release. He has the ability to get the ball out quick. He makes quick, fast decisions. He's a very good football player and has had a lot of success. I think I was at Jacksonville in 2017 when he came out, and he actually beat us towards the end of the season. There, we were, I think, 10-4 or something like that. And he came out, and he had an amazing game. So, he's a good football player. He really is. He does a great job running that system and getting that ball out.
I believe you went to Tampa right after Kyle left. You might have even took his job on John Gruden's staff. And that both of you, I guess your father had been there, and Kyle worked was with your father a year in Tampa. How well do you know Kyle? And have your paths crossed over the years?
We have a lot of mutual friends, a lot of guys that I've worked with. Matt LaFleur obviously worked with for the past 3 years, and they're very close. I've never worked with Kyle. Obviously know him and have an unbelievable amount of respect for him on what he's done, at the Niners and the success that he's had. And have just so much respect for him, and have gotten to talk to him a couple times and really enjoyed every moment of it.
Obviously, you got some criticism the first couple of weeks, and then out here they're wondering why Kyle's running the quarterback, and Kyle kind of laughs and says, it's outside noise. I don't listen to it. What's your approach?
It's the same way. We're both coaches' kids. We've been involved in this game for a long time, and there's always criticism. If you win, there's criticism. If you lose, there's criticism. That's part of the profession. And for me, I have a job to do, and I'm going to do everything I can to put us in good position to be able to win football games. And you just go about your day, and you continually work and work as hard as you possibly can.
the
look across
49ers defense has gotten off to a good start. Yeah, the 49ers defense has gotten off to a good start through these first two games. When you pop on the video and watch that, kind of what stands out to you?
I mean, their front seven is dynamic. I mean, the whole group is very, very good. But I mean, they're very sound. They're penetrating front. I mean, they're dynamic. I mean, when you've got so many good electric players on the front, I mean, it's always going to cause issues. And they're playing at a very high level. And they've been in that system now for quite a while, so they're comfortable. They know it. And then you take 54. I mean, he's spectacular. I mean, he's such a good player. And he's somebody you always have to be aware of, but you also have to be aware of a bunch of other guys too. So, they're very simple, but they're very effective. They understand all the different route concepts they can get. They understand the runs they can get, and they just are able to play fast. I think that you continually show that, and they make you have to be perfect every single play.
Obviously, Russell has a long history playing against the 49ers. Do you lean on him more in the game-tying stage, coming up against an opponent like this, and maybe you might ordinarily do?
We talk so much. I mean, we're together all the time, so I think it's always about whenever you're building a game plan, you want to be sure that you build it around the quarterback and what he's comfortable with, and show him the new ideas, and get him excited for the different things that he could potentially do. And so it's definitely collaborative, and we want to be sure we get all the stuff that he needs so that he feels like he's got enough going into the game to be successful.
You've got a couple former 49ers, DJ Jones, Cohn Williams. What have their contributions been? And I think there might be a couple more that played for the Niners last year.
Yeah, I'll tell you, both those guys have been spectacular. First and foremost, they're amazing people. They practice hard. They work hard. They're just good football players. And, I'm happy not having to go against them, having to deal with them for the past 3 years while at Green Bay. And glad they're on our team, and so appreciative for them to be here and everything that they've brought to our team.
How similar is your offense that you're running with Russell as the one that you ran for Aaron Rodgers?
There's a lot of similarities. I think that every time you get around a new quarterback, you always want to build it around him. So I think there's some things that we definitely do, and there's some things that he's done in his past that we definitely wanted to do. So it's just kind of a combination. I think every place I've been, the system has changed, and it's changed based upon the quarterback that you're going to have. Whether you have a running quarterback, a drop-back quarterback, a mobile quarterback, everybody does things different and are good at different things. So I think that you just want to try to do those things as much as possible for whoever it is, but there's definitely a lot of components.
If you had to narrow down what Kyle Shanahan's offense does well, what would the one thing you do? Like, why do you think he's had so much success over the years?
I mean, they run the ball, as good or better than anybody in the league. I mean, they have consistently done that, and it's very unique because there's shifts, there's motions. They do a great job getting good angles on you as a defense. And I think that's something that Kyle takes a lot of pride in and has continually done throughout his career, and is doing it even better now with some great players and some guys that have been in the same system for a long time. So it allows them to execute at a high level.
I think that's it.
Hey, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you so much. All right, bye.
Thank you.